The Democratic Party has been promising stuff to black folks every time. They never deliver. So y'all want to talk about someone promising y'all something and not delivering? It ain't Trump. Mr. Willis, and welcome back to another episode of What You Talking About, Willis. I had to move my little studio around so I can have a nice cigar and have my coffee or whatever I'm having and talking and enjoy my conversation with y'all. So just switch it up a little bit. That's why it's been a little bit. Go check out the last videos. They're over there. They're on the channel. Again, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to do this and allow me to speak my mind. For those that's been with me from day one, you know, I always talk about y'all that's been supporting me from day one. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. You guys know who you are. So thank you so much. For those that are new here, thank you. It means a lot. You're here because you want to hear the truth. And you want to hear someone speak about what's going on in this world, this crazy mess, especially in the political world, in the world in general. So thank you for being here. If you're new, don't be shy. Comment, like, share. Let me know what else you want to talk about. You want me to talk about. Give me some topics. We cause chaos one truth at a time here. All right? That's what we do. I know y'all wondering, like, who's this guy? Who's this guy that I'm looking at the screen right now? Because that's not him. He don't have his sunglasses. Well, my mini-me got a hold of my sunglasses, and I don't know where they're at. I really don't. I don't know where they're at. So y'all let me know, sunglasses or not. Y'all like me without the sunglasses. Y'all like the sunglasses. Y'all let me know. Okay. But we going no sunglasses today. So y'all get to see me. All right. Now, y'all know. Okay. I'm trying to explain what I'm about to show y'all right now, but it's hard for me to explain it. There's a family here. Here's a family here that's singing their praises for Kamala Harris. Now, if you haven't heard this video, I heard the other day, and I just had to say this wasn't real life. This can't be where we're at right now. This can't be what's going on. I don't see anybody. Okay, I will say this. There are some songs about Donald Trump that are a little bit wild, and you know, they're not really musically great. That's fine. It's on both sides. I'll get that. But at least they don't sound like this, okay? They don't sound like this right here. This has to be one of the wildest praises for Mala the hyena I've seen all year, in the past 4 years, okay? And I'm going to try to get through it. I really am. I really am going to try to get through it. But, you know, here we are with this. If this isn't the sole reason, out of all the other reasons that I've given you, as far as not voting for Mala the hyena, there's no hope for you. I can't change your mind at this point because clearly you're just going to do what you want to do and not listen. So I can't help you. So for those that are on their last leg, still making their decisions, let me know if you want to be associated with this.
When old Donald used to run the country, he subdivision tried to build a wall.
He made a few of his people wealthy. Oh, he don't care about the rest at all.
He's got convictions, he did the nasty and undermined the Constitution.
He's an oppressor of sin.
Pause. Look at their faces. They all look crazy. All right, my bad.
Liberties, megalomaniac Republican.
Oh, give me hope, Kamala.
Hope, Kamala, give me hope. Kamala for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald.
see, she's safer than him with money. She'll try to regulate the sale of guns. She's bringing measures that offer hope,
Not fear, access to healthcare and abortion.
Why are they like when the word isn't ends in TION? Why are they saying it like that? Did anybody notice? Am I noticing this? The Marsh family. I'm sorry, y'all put this out there. Okay. Let me. Okay.
We know there's grief with the neighbors' borders, with climate change and immigration. Don't want a president of the USA
This man's been waiting for his moment.
who's dangerous to everyone.
Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald Trump.
She's got a father who's from Jamaica.
All right, this is a
She
long
had
body.
a mother who was Indian.
She wasn't born into fancy money, oh, but had a good education.
The fact that they're saying the TIONs like that, outside of all the other ridiculous stuff they're saying, because all they're saying is CNN rhetoric, MSNBC rhetoric. They're not. None of that is true. Well, yeah, maybe Don had born into some money, but that man worked for his wealth too. That doesn't matter about anything. I don't care about that. But we know Mala's upbringing is in question. A girl, Candace Owens, did her research. Go check her out and what she says about the history of Kamala and her family and what's her true identity. Just y'all want her to be black so bad. But anyways.
Well, you could vote for a weird felon who threatens bloodbaths and civil war.
But it's a bad move to trust in the wrinkled husk
Of a Satsuma that went off before. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, give me hope.
I had to walk this floor, y'all have it.
Election, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald Trump.
He makes up lies like an angry toddler, seeking attention from the media round. Oh, he may deny the facts, but like beats on Max, he's just an 80s tape that's wearing down.
He thinks the law is beneath his station. Sexual assault doesn't understand.
This is
We've seen his wife spend her life looking quite uptight in case he doesn't try to hold her hand. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald Trump.
He tries to preach, but he ain't no Jesus. He's got the moves of a battery hen. Better to keep him on a course where he's handicapped. He's not fomenting insurrection.
You might not like who he calls Camilla. She's Californian and not a man.
I thought it was Kamala. They over here saying Camilla. I had a dude on my live on my TikTok said he wasn't going to talk to me because I wasn't saying her name right. But what are they saying? I'm sorry. All right, the video's almost over. We can move on to some. Okay.
But she won't set the country burning or take it back to 1861. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald
Does nobody else not find this weird? No? Okay.
Trump. Oh, give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, give me hope, Kamala, for the election. Give me hope, Kamala. Hope, Kamala, hope for beating Donald Trump.
was my best one yet. I didn't mess up the harmony.
That was good.
I got the right note on the harmony.
But she wasn't recording.
Oh my goodness. So I hadn't actually watched the end of that. Listen, I'm giving y'all plenty of reasons not to vote for her mom. Y'all want to be associated with that, then y'all go ahead. I'm not going to be associated with that. Y'all not going to tie me down to that. Y'all tripping. Been telling y'all the past 4 years that this time was coming. I've been talking to y'all all year and said this year was about to be wild. It has been wild, more than anything. And the fact is, these people still lie to you, to your face. They lie to you to your face, and y'all still vote for them. Kamala's been saying nothing but lies. She shouldn't even be in the position that she is in now. She just got there because Biden said he wanted to hire a black woman. He couldn't even get one of the best ones. He had to get her. Vice presidential debate was a couple days ago. And it's crazy because not only does she lie, he lies too. He lies too. All right. They can't even tell you something simple as into where they were.
Governor Waltz.
Shout out to Vance, though. I didn't know Vance was this articulate and this good of a debater, by the way. You know, I think and Trump is my guy. Don't get me wrong. Trump is my guy, but Vance killed it. Nothing else needs to be said. The facial expressions were great. Those are the facial expressions we all have when these Democratic nominees come there and speak their rhetoric. We all have the same face. But he was very articulate. He was calm. He really wasn't even on the defensive. When they confronted him about stuff that he said in the past, he owned up into it and said, hey, look, yeah, I may have said it back then, but I learned, we grow, we adapt. And that's fine. I can accept that. Unlike your boy Waltz, watch him over here fumbled up when they asked him about when he was overseas.
You said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah, well, and to the folks out there who didn't get at the top of this, look, I grew up in small rural Nebraska.
What? And this is what I talk about when he doing the same thing that Mala's doing. It's like when they ask him a question, both of them, it's like, oh, I grew up in a small town. That's, you know what? When somebody asks me, so if I go on another job interview somewhere, or somebody asks me a question in the store or something, wherever. Somebody asks me, when did you get red pilled? I'm gonna ask this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say, I grew up in a small town. That's what I'm gonna say.
Nebraska, town of 400, town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the streetlights come on, and I'm proud of that service. I joined the National Guard at 17, worked on family farms, and then I used the GI Bill to become a teacher, passionate about it, a young teacher. My first year out, I got the opportunity.
What does that have to do with the question?
In the summer of '89 to travel to China. 35 years ago, be able to do that. I came back home and then started a program to take young people there. We would take basketball teams, we would take baseball teams, we would take dancers, and we would go back and forth to China. The issue for that was to try and learn. Now look, my community knows who I am. They
has nothing to do with the question still.
Saw where I was at. Look, I will be the first to tell you, I have poured my heart into my community. I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect, and I'm a knucklehead at times.
We know.
But it's always been about that. Those same people elected me to Congress.
Look at Vance over here. He's like, dude's not going to answer the question.
For 12 years. And in Congress, I was one of the most
The fact that they even brought this question up, I'm surprised, first of all, that they even asked this question.
Partisan people working on things like farm bills that we got done, working on veterans benefits. And then the people of Minnesota were able to elect me to governor twice. So look, my commitment has been from the beginning to make sure that I'm there for the people, to make sure that I get this right. I will say more than anything. Many times I will talk a lot. I will get caught up in the rhetoric. But being there, the impact it made, the difference it made in my life, I learned a lot about China. I hear the critiques of this. I would make the case that Donald Trump should have come on one of those trips with us. I guarantee you.
What does that have to do with Donald Trump? They're trying to blame Trump for everything. This has nothing to do with Trump. Trump has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with you lying about you going to Hong Kong. Trump was probably somewhere else doing something else, minding his own business. He wasn't worried about you. He's still not worried about you. Yet these nominees from the Democratic side always got to say, well, Donald Trump. That's their only fallback. That's their only answer. That's their only response to anything that they're asked.
He wouldn't be praising Xi Jinping about COVID. And I guarantee you he wouldn't start a trade war that he ends up losing. So this is about trying to understand the world. It's about trying to do the best you can for your community. And then it's putting yourself out there and letting your folks understand what it is. My commitment, whether it be through teaching, which I was good at, or whether it was being a good soldier or was being a good member of Congress, those are the things that I think are the values that people care about.
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
Just, all I said on this was I got there that summer and misspoke on this. So I will just, that's what I've said. So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in. And from that,
Wait, so he said he misspoke, but then he just said he was there during the protest.
learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
I don't know how much more I can give you. I really don't. Because they just straight up lie to your face. We all know you weren't there. And they still lie. I don't really understand it. I don't. And it's pretty sad. And piggybacking on that. Piggyback on the lies, right? I just want to give you the whole context of when they say, or when they don't answer the question, right? They never answer the question when they're asked. Mala does it every time. Listen up. I'm not making this up. I don't understand how you guys are supporting this, the people that support her. Why are you supporting her? She has no policy and she lies. She doesn't answer any question. How many times I got to keep telling y'all this? It's proven every video that I put on here, every video, she doesn't answer the question at all. There's not one time she answered the question.
Could decide the outcome of this presidential election. You hear it more than I do. People want to know more about you and about your specific plans. At the debate the other night, you talked about creating an opportunity economy. I wonder if we can drill down on that a little bit. When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people,
y'all listen to
what are
this.
two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid.
Ding, ding. I'm going to give y'all one more after this. No. All right.
My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard. She was able to finally save up enough money to buy
Specific policy.
our first house when I was a teenager. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, you know, construction workers and nurses and teachers. And I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, you know, but a lot of people will relate to this. You know, I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn, you know?
She just said she grew up in a neighborhood where people were proud of their lawn. But I am not making this stuff up. This is what she says. This is your nominee, and y'all talking about Trump is bad? What is she talking about? She has no policy. She has no plan. It's clear and obvious every time she speaks. She has no policies. She has no plans. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's a clown. I've told y'all this over and over again, but y'all don't listen.
And I was raised to believe and to know that all people deserve dignity, and that we as Americans have a beautiful character. You know, we have ambitions and aspirations and dreams, but not everyone necessarily has access to the resources that can help them fuel those dreams and ambitions. So when I talk about building an opportunity economy, it is very much with the mind of investing in the ambitions and aspirations and the incredible work ethic of the American people, and creating opportunity for people, for example, to start a small business.
How?
My mother, worked long hours, and our neighbor helped raise us. We used to call her, I still call her, our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small business owners. I learned who they are from my childhood, and she was a community.
She's just rambling on. There's been nothing of substance to what she has said. There's nothing. She's just rambling on.
Leader. She hired locally. She mentored. Our small businesses are so much a part of the fabric of our communities, not to mention, really, I think, the backbone of America's economy. So my opportunity economy plan includes giving startups a $50,000 tax deduction to start their small business. It used to be $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000.
There's a lot wrong with that, but I don't have that much time to break it down. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. It took her 2 minutes and 28 seconds into that interview. And there's more. You guys can go watch it. The interview she had. It took her 2 minutes and 28 seconds just to get there, to that part. Whenever she does an interview, it doesn't matter what platform it is. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what platform she's on. She still doesn't answer the question. She's been on that exclusive interview on that network, and now she's on all the Smoke podcasts with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, which I think both of those two are clowns. But somehow they got enough popularity to get the vice president, aka the Democratic nominee for the presidential race this year, to be on their podcast. And credit to them. Again, I really don't like a lot of stuff that they say. Most of the stuff I don't like what they say. But at least they ask the question. And I can respect them for this. They asked a specific question to Mala the hyena. A specific question. And what does she do? Should I give you a hint, or do you guys already know?
What is your economic plan moving forward for people who are living paycheck to paycheck and struggling for groceries and rent and homeowners?
So look, I grew up, so my sister and I were raised by our mother. We lived for a long time in an apartment on top of a child care center.
How many versions of her story is this, by the way? How many versions are there? She's talking about grass, growing up next to construction workers. Now she grew up over top of a daycare center. Okay.
The child care center was actually owned by a woman who lived 2 doors down from us, Mrs. Shelton, who was, by all of our accounts and feelings, our second mother. She helped raise us. And so she was a small business owner. So I'll start with the small business, and congratulations on what you guys have done. I, from a child, knew who our small business owners are, right? I mean, you're business leaders, but you're also civic leaders. You take seriously your voice and how you can mentor.
Look, I'll say this again. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson are, to me, they're clowns. That's just how I feel about them. Oh, well. Nobody, if y'all don't like that, just get over it. People call me names all the time. I don't care. And look at Steven Jackson, though. First of all, I don't know what this suit is. But it's like a checkerboard. But look at his face. Man's is just as confused as us. Steven, we are just as confused as you are with this. We're just as confused. We have the same face every time she tries to answer the question. We have the same face. So you're not alone, sir. I get this posture and I get your confused face because I'm right there with you.
How you can grow, right? Communities and the sense of communities. I love our small businesses. And so a lot of my work in terms of building and growing the economy has focused on small businesses. And my vision overall is we need to build an opportunity economy in which we increase opportunity for all, including small business owners. So a lot of my work, even in the Senate, was about increasing access to capital through our small businesses, and in particular through our
How many times has she said small businesses in this interview and this on this specific topic?
community banks. So I've been responsible for billions of dollars more now going into our community banks because they're in the community and then they know who's in the community and
Who's
where
doing
the
the good in the
talent is and
community.
who's doing good in the community, what the community wants.
Oh, the community.
Okay. The election's in less than a month. Okay. And this is the stuff I'm talking about. They don't have any plans. She doesn't have any plans. Okay. She has no idea what she's going to do, how to do it, when to do it, how to even get people in her cabinet to do it. Because she's a clown. She's a clown and a half. And y'all sitting over here ignoring this. Again, and then we get back to the Holly weirdos. We get back to the Holly weirdos. They're back. And now they got Magic Johnson up here. They got Magic Johnson up here telling black dudes that they need to vote. And y'all see what's on the screen. He want to come out here and have the nerve to tell black folks, black men in specific, how to vote. If we haven't learned by now that celebrities, for the most part, don't know what they're talking about. There's very few celebrities that have any common sense. And when they speak common sense, then they get canceled. So it's very few that will come out and speak common sense on common sense issues. Shoot, that sounds like Kamala, right? I've been listening too much Kamala Dahani. I'm repeating myself over and over again. But this dude will come out and tell us at Mala's rally on that we should vote. Okay. But y'all listen to P. Diddy when he told y'all to vote.
Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he.
Wait. I don't remember Trump. Maybe y'all can hit me in the comments and tell me what exactly he promised specifically to black folks. I can't sit here and think of that. And then not only did he promise it, did he not deliver? There's no specific thing he said to black men like this dude is saying. He don't know what he's talking about. I don't remember Trump when he was running both times saying, oh, this is what I'm gonna give specifically to black people and black men, and then he never did it. Y'all hit me in the comments. Y'all let me know because I don't remember that. The only thing I remember him saying really is, what do you have to lose? The Democratic Party has been promising you stuff over and over again. I'm gonna say this again for the people in the back, since y'all don't seem to listen when I say it the first time. Hold on. The Democratic Party has been promising stuff to black folks every time. They never deliver. So y'all want to talk about someone promising y'all something and not delivering? It ain't Trump. It is not Trump. The Democratic Party, the left, always want to promise y'all something, and y'all sit here and fall for it every time.
He did not deliver on. And We got to make sure we help black men understand that. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Nothing of substance. It's just rambling on. They don't have any specific reasons for anything that they say. There's nothing of value. They don't have your best interest. I keep saying this over and over again. They don't have your best interest at heart. They really don't. Okay? They really don't. And they just, all the whole rhetoric is racism and the system and slavery and this country has never been great and all this other stuff. That's all they talk about every time. And where is it at? I love Byron Donalds. I'm gonna get to him in a second. But listen, I don't really listen to Dr. Umar that much. I got some gold from Byron Donalds, and I'm gonna get out of here. I know y'all, I've been here for a long time. Thank y'all for liking and subscribing and sharing. If you don't, spread the word, please, man. Y'all hit that like button. It's also gonna be on Spotify and YouTube. So y'all go ahead and like and subscribe and share and let everybody know. Listen, Dr. Umar, don't really listen to what he has to say for the most part, but it's to the point that Kamala is so bad. Mala the hyena is so bad. You got Dr. Umar against her. Y'all listen.
The reason they did not arrest Puffy until recently, because they could have arrested him then, is they wanted to wait and save this for a time they needed to distract the black public away from something that they didn't need us getting involved in. The reason he got arrested now is because we're 6 weeks away from the presidential election, and Black America was tearing Kamala Harris's ass up looking for presidential accountability.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Dr. Umar. Thank you.
They were all over Kamala Harris. She couldn't answer no questions. She didn't want to do no interviews.
I'm not the only one saying this. I'm not the only one saying this. Dr. Umar is saying this. Mr. Pro-Blackity Black himself. He's calling her out. He's calling out the Democratic Party. This is Dr. Umar himself, Mr. Pro-Black himself.
And so the power structure said, let's get him right now. We need something we can throw at Black America. We know they're emotional. We know they care more about hip hop than anything else in their community. Okay, what can we throw Black America to get them off of Kamala Harris's back? Let's throw them Puff. And if you notice, Art, ever since Kamala decided to seek the presidential nomination when Joe Biden stepped down, every conversation in Black Twitter, Black Facebook, Black Instagram, Black TikTok, Black YouTube, everything has been about what? The presidential election. Trump, Kamala, Kamala, Trump. That's all we've been talking about until they arrested Puff. Now go on Black Twitter. Now go on Black Instagram. Now go on Black YouTube. Nobody's talking about Kamala too much no more. Everybody's worried about Puff. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Distract Black America away from the presidential election by throwing them the Puffy lynching so we can get Kamala to the finish line.
I don't know what else to say. I should end the show just on that. I really should. I should end the show just on that. Because this is exactly what they do. Well, all they say is Black women, Black folks have been riding for Kamala. It's all a lie. It's all smoke. It's a smoke screen. Everybody understands that she's a buffoon. Everybody understands. I honestly agree. I think the Puffy thing, he's been doing this for years. People already knew. People knew what's going on in the hip hop industry. They know all these dudes are Satan worshipers and devil worshipers, and they into some crazy stuff up there. Everybody knows that. R. Kelly, all those guys, they're all into some stuff. Some evil stuff. It's Holly weird. It's what they do. And he was right. Black folks, all we do is get distracted and we're emotional. All we do is care about hip hop. So whatever goes up in hip hop news, we go and gravitate to it. Oh, what's going on? Puff Daddies did this. Oh, we're surprised. We didn't know. Everybody knew. Y'all know what goes up there. Y'all know the blackmailing and all the sorts that goes up there. They throw it in your face so you don't pay attention to what's going on in the government. They don't think you're smart enough. The government thinks you're stupid. The Democrat thinks you're stupid. They think you're an idiot. They think that you don't know what's going on. And if they throw rap in front of you, or if they throw some kind of Hollywood celebrity in front of you to tell you what to do, y'all just going to do it. And the sad thing is, y'all do it. You let somebody with some common sense come in there and tell you stuff and explain stuff and break down stuff to you about what's going on in the government, who's doing what, who's messing up what, in an intelligent, articulate way. Y'all don't want to listen. You guys don't want to listen to that. You want to listen to Puff Daddy stories. I care less about Puff Daddy. He deserves to be in jail and punished for what he does. That's it. I don't got time for Puff Daddy. I got time for this election because this country is at stake. I don't vote based on what's good for just black people. No, I vote based on what's good for the American people, because we're all Americans. We live in this country, and this government needs to do what they need to do for us. They work for us. We don't work for them. And I'm tired of it. But y'all want to get distracted by dumb stuff. Nobody cares about P. Diddy. Now, I don't really care for Charlamagne or God. I don't even know. Byron, if you hear this, shout out to you for going on the show. I don't know why you, Candace Owens, Larry Elder, all those guys, all y'all, very articulate, well-spoken, well-educated people go on these dumb shows. But I guess you got to go to reach a certain audience. I get that. If it was me, I wouldn't waste my time because these guys don't know anything. But Byron Darnold, shout out to you, man. All the power to you for breaking this down to these clowns and understanding that this is what's really going on. If you listen to these guys answer questions, ask Byron questions, or try to talk and argue with him, they can't.
I would argue we're not really thriving right now. This inflation, which, by the way, was brought to us by Kamala Harris, has really slowed down people from being able to excel.
By Kamala?
Yes.
They say they're so dumb. Listen to Charlamagne. Charlamagne the dumb. By Kamala? Yes, by Kamala. Yes, this is her fault.
President.
Charlamagne.
It's still the president.
Charlamagne, listen, man. When Joe Biden wanted to do his American Rescue Plan, Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate. She broke the tie that started this inflation that has hurt so many people in our country. Everybody listening to your show, it's not true?
First of all, it's true that it's a tie-breaking vote.
You sure you want to go there?
When you go outside, Congressman, when you go outside,
you sure you want to go there? Okay, let's go there.
You had it
You got notes. You got notes, Angela, right?
These people refuse to believe the facts. The fact that Byron had brought, what he said, he got his notes. All you got to do is speak facts, but they don't want to hear it. He literally brought out factual information on paper. Here, it's right here in front of you. Listen to her. She's still arguing. I don't even know who she is. She's still arguing.
That's fine. I have notes.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Where are your notes at? Bring them out. She don't have any notes.
What I have today
I'm gonna give it to Charlamagne.
is that on every question I've asked,
because Angela, hold on now.
For every infrastructure project in your community,
you can go to
should
third
go
page,
out
just
and
to highlight
thank
a portion.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Congress that voted for the American Rescue Plan.
Angela,
that's what should be happening.
Larry Summers wrote an op-ed back in 2021. Larry Summers was the Treasury Secretary for Bill Clinton. He was an economic advisor to Barack Obama. He said that the American Rescue Plan that Joe Biden wanted, that Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate, would create a massive inflation that we have not seen in a generation. Well, guess what? Larry Summers was correct. You know who also was correct, Angela? I was, because I was in the budget committee when they brought the bill.
Bam. You got someone was in the budget committee right there. That's, to me, that is the best part of this interview. Not only is he bringing facts and brought information for them, the dude was in the budget committee meeting. He was in there. Where are these clowns at? Nowhere to be found. They don't know nothing about this. They're not in those meetings.
And I said in that committee, it's going to cause massive inflation. That's what happened. So the problem we have in our economy today is that prices have gone up massively. Wages adjusted for inflation is down. People's pocketbooks are hurting.
One more for my man Byron. Like, all you have to do is go on these shows and present facts. But this is what I'm talking about with these black-led shows or these liberal shows. You bring them the facts, right? You bring them the facts, and they still don't want to listen. They still want to argue. They still want to argue. They don't even know anything about the whole thing with qualified immunity. They try to bring that up. And this is just another piece of the interview with the Breakfast Club that Byron was on. They don't even know what qualified immunity is for police officers, and yet they come out there and say, "Oh no, Trump is going to give qualified immunity to the police. That means they can just do whatever they want, kill whoever they want, blah blah." You guys don't even know any. You guys don't know law. You guys don't know policy. I explained that to you. You guys don't know Supreme Court cases. When I broke it down for the Tyreek arrest and detention in Miami before his game week 1 of the football season, I broke it down to you. Why was Supreme Court ruling that allowed the police to do what they're able to do? You guys don't even know that. You're clowns. They know nothing. All they do is yell and scream on stuff that they don't know anything about. Listen to this. Listen to these clowns.
What does qualified immunity have to do with having less police officers?
Because the economic incentive of qualified immunity means that your personal assets aren't gone after if something goes wrong. So, you're in business. Do you get involved in a project or a deal that leaves you massively exposed financially? You may, depending on your passion for that project, but then you also sit back and think, now, wait a minute, if something goes wrong, I'm going to be held massively liable. Maybe I need to do something else.
When something goes wrong, we're talking about people getting violently hurt or killed.
Yeah, clearly.
And I named people that you brushed over.
But they don't know what they're talking about. He already broke it down to them. And qualified immunity does affect hiring of police officers because, you know what?
It's clear when somebody clearly violates a constitutional right.
And when you violate a constitutional right, qualified immunity doesn't apply to you. And that's what I'm talking about. It does not. And Angela, don't do that. It does not.
I thought that was the definition.
No, it does not.
I thought that was the definition of qualified immunity.
I thought that was the definition of qualified immunity. The man doesn't even know. These guys don't know anything. They yell and scream, "Oh, no, watch out for qualified immunity for police officers." He doesn't even know. Look at his face. Confused face. He doesn't know. They're clowns. They're part of the Ku Klux Klansmen. That's what they're part of. These guys, they don't know anything, and I keep saying it over and over again. They yell and scream, and they come on the TV, and they come on these podcasts, and they go on a radio show talking about this and that. They don't even know the meaning of what they're talking about. They're told what to say pretty much. They won't even take a moment to educate themselves on what they're talking about and to educate their audience. They don't. They're willfully ignorant. And you can't help people that want to be ignorant on purpose.
If you carry yourself outside of the confines of your training and the protocols of that department, qualified immunity doesn't apply to you.
That's not true.
That is very true.
That is patently false.
It's patently true. We have to make sure we have that accurate. We cannot make that statement because you have a lot of officers out here who do their job with honor and dignity and respect for the people that they serve.
Listen, qualified immunity is a legal doctrine that protects government officials from civil lawsuits when they perform their jobs unless they clearly violate a constitutional right.
That's
Hold up. It took them all but 2 seconds, right, to look that up, and it clearly broke it down to him. Well, Byron literally just told him. Literally just told him that. He went on the internet to try to see what it was, and it's the same thing. It took him 2 seconds to understand what he was talking about. I didn't know that. I didn't know what qualified immunity was. He looked it up in 2 seconds and found the answer. Byron's like, that's exactly what I'm saying. I literally just said that to you. I legit just said that to you.
Exactly what I'm saying. And what is a violation of that right is when they're outside the norms of their training and the protocols of that department or that agency.
But here's the main thing, because we can actually go past qualified immunity, because this is the place where you've refused to answer both on Donald Trump's accountability and on the law enforcement that you love so dearly.
Right.
What we know is that he's seeking full immunity, like the same immunity he now has because of the Supreme Court. Because of the corruption of the Supreme Court, we have now gone beyond civil presidential immunity to criminal presidential immunity.
So when they get told and when they get corrected on what they think they know, now they got to shift the question. They do it every time. She got told, she got shut up because what she was talking about was stupid. Byron came in there, corrected her, made her look stupid, which isn't hard to do, on a simple topic that they could have just went on the internet and looked up and got the answer. The internet is there for them to use, and they still refuse to use it. So now they got to switch up the topic.
Immunity. He would like to give that same immunity to law enforcement. True or false?
Well, let's expand that a couple
True
things.
or false?
You can't ask a true or false, Angela, because you got to explain the details. No, see, this is the
I
problem.
don't want you to explain the details, because when you explain
Why you
the
don't
details,
want people to hear the details, Angela? The details are what the things that matter. You got to explain the details, or then you just talk. You're just talking,
and then explain.
If you don't explain the details, then you're just talking.
Yeah, you don't want to say that because you know that it's not true. So
that is not true. You want a true or false statement.
Congressman, I want to know.
I don't want to argue with you. I want to explain the facts.
What is qualified?
At this point, if you don't understand what's going on, there's no help. And the thing is, when you argue with people like that clearly don't want to see the truth, there's no helping them at all. And it's pretty sad. She could have took that and understood and said, thank you for helping me understand what's going on. Thank you for shedding a light on something that I thought I knew, but I actually don't know. And she could have took that and then sent that back to her audience or their audience, say, hey, listen, this is what we thought it was. This is actually what's going on. And to have them think about that in a new light because she got educated on it. It's nothing wrong with being wrong about something and then getting educated on it and then changing your mind. Like, oh, cool, I didn't know that. But they refused to do it. They refused to do it. I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of Byron. He breaks. I just love when he goes on these shows, these podcasts. This is on CNN, and he combats the Democratic pawns, and he makes them look stupid every time.
We have seen Kamala Harris now in 4 different interviews now. She was with the All in Smoke podcast today with Matt Barnes and Stephen Jackson. We have not heard her actually go through a coherent argument for why her economic policies or any other policies are actually going to work.
Listen, we all understand what's going on. And those that refuse to see it, there's no help for you. Everybody knows that when she goes on her interview, she's only been on 4, by the way, and she's been on multiple platforms, and yet none of those platforms does she answer any questions.
And when she's pressed on these issues, her default response is, I grew up as a middle-class child. That is very true. I've watched everything. I've watched every interview.
They refuse to see it. I literally gave you a bunch of clips on this one podcast of her literally not answering questions. Even at the presidential debate, she didn't answer any questions.
view.
She did give,
I've watched every
she did
view.
give a whole speech on her economic policy.
Giving a speech in the teleprompter is not discussing policy off the cuff when you're asked directly by any reporter or any citizen in a town hall format or anything. And she has not proven that she can do that. To the contrary, what she is proving by her lack of being available to the press and really to the people is that she is heavily scripted. And so anybody can read the teleprompter, but what's going on when the teleprompter is off and you got to respond to real policy? That's the problem.
Easy money. People are starting to wake up. First of all, people aren't starting to wake up. Let me tell you, I misspoke on that. It's not people are starting to wake up. People know. They knew from the beginning. They knew from the beginning. These aren't so-called white supremacist Trump supporters that's saying this stuff. Like, that's what y'all want to bring up. Oh, the ultra MAGA, they're crazy. You know, the white power. These are the people that support Trump. Okay.
Our elected officials. Funny how y'all find money for them. Yeah. But you can't find money for us. Right. Do you all realize that CTU has it in their contract that is up for negotiations this year, where they're going to be giving more money to migrants than they're going to be giving to support our teachers? In what world is that okay? You want to give migrant kids $2,000 a month for a stipend in your contract? What about the rest of the kids who are hungry and suffering here in Chicago?
American kids, by the way. American citizens.
Do you not think that it is just migrant kids who are suffering, who are not able to eat, who are dealing with homelessness? Of course it's not. I say all this to say, people, Democrats, you're on the menu this election. Black America, wake up and pay attention. Supporting Trump does not make you racist. It does not demonize you. What it does do is says to the Democratic Party, y'all not going to keep playing with us.
Exactly.
You're not going to keep taking us for granted. You're not going to continue to disregard the importance of our vote. So we're saying here today, go Trump 2024. We got you, Donald Trump, here in the city of Chicago. We're supporting you because what we're saying to the Democratic Party is y'all not going to continue to play it out.
I thought Trump supporters were white supremacists, white extremists. The fact that the Democratic Party is so bad, everybody's starting to wake up and realize what's going on. And if you haven't by now, hopefully this video will help you understand what's going on out here. I really do. Thank y'all for being here. Like, subscribe, and share to the channel. You guys are awesome. Love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all spread the word. That's what we do on this channel. We cause chaos one truth at a time. It's election year. We're less than 30 days from the election. Get out there and vote for the prosperity of this country. Unfortunately, the left, the Democrats, don't believe in that. They believe in illegal immigrants, open border, inflation, starting wars. They don't care about the American citizens who actually need help in this country. They'd rather go send that support outside of the country. Again, y'all, the information's out there. It's clear and obvious of what's going on, what side supports what. It's clear and obvious. Listen, y'all stay safe. Get out there, let your voice be heard. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, to speak on the issues that's going on in this country, because it's ludicrous what's going on out here. Like, subscribe, and share. Spread the word. Shows on YouTube. It's going to be a Rumble, Spotify. They got all the platforms. Thank y'all for being here. Another episode going to be coming soon. Thank those that's been guests on my show. I'm going to get some more guests. I love talking and chopping up with like-minded people. Y'all stay safe. Peace.